If you're not on Twitter, stay offline. It's so much better. But if you are, I want you to be aware of this new tactic that people affiliated with the show The Right Stuff are trying to get away with. So, I was talking to Daniel Harper, who has a podcast called I Don't Speak German. And there was a Twitter thread where he said, don't let this guy's AVI fool you. It's Alex McNabb, the racist EMT who was, fired for his affiliations. And, I just kind of chimed in. It wasn't necessarily adding anything to the discourse at that point. But he was posing as an Asian female cyclist. So I shared a tweet that said I basically knew who he was thanks to Daniel outing him publicly. And I engaged with him without thinking of the strategy involved in what he did. And my account was temporarily suspended from Twitter as a result of it. So I said I knew who he was, and he said, don't you dare misgender me. Just without even thinking, which is what he wanted. I said, he, him, because it was a fake account. So outwardly, in the eyes of Twitter moderators, they don't see this account as a fake account. And they're more inclined to see me as, at best, a TERF. And, at worst, someone who's, incredibly bigoted and hateful. So, he reported my account for hateful conduct, and used the, willful misgendering as the rule to do that. So my account was suspended from Twitter for, I think it was 24 hours. And I've never experienced something like that before. I am a countering violent extremism researcher. I've conducted ethnographic interviews with members of the Proud Boys and anti-fascists. I've been tracking Proud Boys incidents since 2018, and I've been going back from when the group started in 2016 to present. The incident map is not entirely exhaustive, but it's being developed and curated. And now that I have graduated, I'd like to devote more time to doing that. But anyway, that's a really strange, kind of brilliant strategy if you think about it. Posing as a female and using the community guidelines that were originally designed to protect members of marginalized communities against anyone that is outing you as a far-right person. So misgendering a fake account is just it's a strange thing in the Twitter universe, and I hope that Jack Dorsey, the CEO, will get off his libertarian shtick and start seeing the problem these figures pose. This isn't a political issue, in my opinion. This is a human issue. Why would you want people who are devoid of empathy and compassion and understanding and want to harm these communities on your platform? I understand there's an attentional economy where it might be profitable, but do ethics not factor into it at all? The CEO was on the Joe Rogan podcast with Tim Pool, a propagandist. That is what Tim Pool is. There's photos of him with Proud Boys, and he's not that dissimilar to Andy Ngo, another propagandist in the Pacific Northwest region. and he's associating with these figures, and they're taking this free speech approach, but looking at these incidents, which are not isolated, there's also mass reporting attempted by Proud Boys and other issues. It's pretty clear when you see these tactics and how they're used that the far right doesn't care about free speech at all. I was told by the journalist David Newert that Richard Spencer was outed by saying, we don't really care about free speech, we're using that to maintain our platform. So what are they defending? Their freedom to be openly racist? Because they don't have the courage for that, obviously. They're using clown symbols and Pepe memes and, you know, all that honkler stuff. The Proud Boys went to an anti-abortion rally as a living meme, as these clown world figures, and they put posters saying, abortion is no joke. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take for people to start realizing that they don't care about free speech and they don't care about community or helping communities. These people are in it for themselves, and they're grifting for the most profit, and it's become very marketable to do so. I mean, I suspect that's why Sam Harris has gone as far as he has recently on Twitter by saying that throwing milkshakes is a mock assassination. I mean, this is someone who I respected back in the day. I still have Sam Harris's books somewhere. What was it? The Moral Landscape, and I was a big fan of his TED Talk, and so that's it for now. I have a lot of exciting things coming up, and I'm starting to share some of it on my Patreon account. If you would like to become a patron, you would help me greatly this summer. My biggest goal is to publish my academic research in an academic setting. So far, I've only been interviewed by journalists to provide more insight into the group, which is incredibly valuable. But because I am an academic as well, I want to bring them into an academic space. Another thing is an OSINT, open source intelligence project, with the Proud Boys incident map that I hope to make operational this summer. I have created a dashboard along with some very helpful friends of mine who are assisting with the coding. I would like to compensate them for their time because it's incredibly complicated. We're not just doing data analysis, but we're transferring data from one thing to another website, and it requires a lot of intensive coding, and I would really, really like to compensate them. So if you would like to become a patron, consider it. My Patreon account is patreon.com/ashkenaz89. Another way to support is by looking at the incident map that's on Twitter and seeing if there's anything that has not been covered. Feel free to send me an email at samantha@proudboyswhisperer.com. And also stay tuned for Daniel Harper's podcast this coming week, which will be more on the Proud Boys, and I will be speaking with him. So yeah, please consider supporting. I appreciate your willingness to stay informed on these issues, and I suspect a fair amount of trolling, but that's just online now. So take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.